Very good afternoon, Azriel. We are welcoming you for the session. You are a Facebook ads expert. Azriel has perfected a strategy for companies to find their ideal audiences and create the most relevant ads for their business. He is one of the creators of the Facebook Ads Mastery and the author of Find, Engages, and Optimize. Azriel has managed ads in B2B, B2C, SaaS, e-com, online publishers, non-profit, and even more. Azriel's Facebook campaigns earn an average return of 5 times the ad cost. So it's quite interesting, Azriel. So we are happy to have you as part of this conference. So welcome you, and you can start the session. Have a good start.
Thank you so much for having me. So I just want to tell you guys before I start that you can get this entire presentation with more notes at FEO, which is Find, Engage, Optimize .talkaboutads.com, just so that if you're looking for where it is later, I'll put it in right now here, FEO.talkaboutads.com. So I first want to start off about me. I've been doing this for 6 years, which is well before almost anyone that I know has been doing this. I live in Israel, so the time is not yet 10 a.m. here, so I hope that you guys have been having a good day. Just started here for me. And this is my family, my wife and son. He just turned 3. His name is Shalom. And he is quite the diva. As you can see, he has not one but 2 girlfriends, but it's totally cool because he has, they're both the same. They have the same name. They're both named Avital, so they don't even notice that he's dating both of them at the same time. So I first want to get into what we're going to talk about today. Since I already got the introduction, we're going to move to here. In this presentation, we want to talk about 4 things that you need to do to get in front of the best potential audience that you can reach on Facebook, get in front of them with the best potential ads for them, and get them to and optimize those ads for the best possible performance. So we want to focus on 1, getting in front of the best audience, 2, hitting them with the best ads, and then 3, making sure that we're consistently making better versions of the ads to constantly get cheaper traffic, higher quality, impressions, and hopefully more revenue in later down in as we continue our funnel. So the first thing I want to focus on before we start that is just how important it is to have clear goals when you set up your Facebook ads. So what most people don't understand, when you select a Facebook goal on your ad campaign level. So when you get to you click on create new campaign, and there's this whole list of different options that you could do. You could create an app ad, you can make a video ad, an impression ad, engagement ad, conversion ad, link click ad, product catalog. And there's so many different versions of the type of ad you can create. When you choose an ad campaign, Facebook looks at your entire audience. So if we were to imagine this line here as the audience of 2 million people, when you select a campaign, what you're doing is you're telling Facebook, find the best, which for Facebook means the cheapest, find the cheapest audience for my goal. So I have this list of 2 million people, and I tell Facebook, I want video views. When you tell Facebook you want video views, what they're doing is they're looking at the 2 million people, and they might find this blue circle of 50,000 people that love clicking on and watching videos, but they're not the type of people that will go to a link and convert. So when you create a campaign, the first thing you have to do is say, what do I want out of this campaign? Do I want video views? Do I want engagement? Do I want conversions? Do I want people to come to my webinar? What is it that I actually want out of my ads? And I want to select the ad campaign that is most similar to that actual goal. Because if I tell Facebook something else, what will end up happening is I'll get not the thing I'm asking for. If I'm asking for video views, I should not assume that I will get link clicks. I should not assume that I'll get app downloads. I should not assume that I'll get a lot of comments. Whatever it is that you ask for is what Facebook is going to try to get for you. So the first thing that you need to focus on is select the right campaign for your audience. Now that we have that set, we can move on to the next section, which is actually targeting the right audience. Before I start, I see Yusuf sent me a message. Can analyze the keyword popularity. Okay, so that's not about me. Okay, next. So the first thing we want to do is find the right people. So a mistake that a lot of businesses make is they assume that when you put in a lot of audiences into your Facebook ad set, Facebook is going to find you the best people. But as we just mentioned, that's not how it works. Facebook doesn't find you the best people. They target the people they believe will be the cheapest to convert on your optimization. So again, if you're asking for page engagement and you're targeting 50 million people, you're not going to get the best quality person. You're going to get the person that's most likely going to engage. If you ask for impressions, you're going to get the person that Facebook can show your ad to for the cheapest. Is that going to be the best potential person? Almost definitely not. So what we want to do is we want to find the best potential people, not just for the lowest price, but for the highest quality return. So if we go and we put all of our potential audiences into one ad set, that is not going to tell us who it is that, okay, great. I'm glad I was able to figure out how to zoom that. We're not going to be able to figure out who the best people are. So if we look at, let's say, for example, you have Facebook likes, you have website visitors, you have email subscribers, you have video viewers on your Facebook videos, you have people who've engaged with your page. So these are 5 different audiences. Let's say each of them have 100,000 people in them. You have 100,000 people on your Facebook page, 100,000 people that are on your email list, 100,000 people that watch your videos, so on and so on. If we were to take, what just happened? If we were to take each of those 5 audiences and throw them all into the same ad set, Facebook isn't going to find us the best people, it's going to find us the cheapest people. So what we want to do is we want to separate out and create smaller ad sets so that when Facebook runs the ads, we can actually see after the ads have run which of the audiences are the highest quality. If we run one ad set with our Facebook likes, one ad set with our website visitors, one ad set with our email subscribers, and we let it run for 2-3 days, we're going to immediately see who the lowest priced people are. And this is a really important process because if you don't do this, you won't know who to run, not just who to run ads to today, but also how to create higher quality campaigns in the future by continuing to target the best people that you're reaching. So if you find out that there's a certain list of interests that you could target that people will convert at a higher rate than your website visitors, then it would be foolish of you to not run ads to those people, not just for this product, but for future products, for future offers, for future, webinars that you're hosting. But if you were to include them all together in the same ad set, you won't actually learn which audience is best. So that's why it's just so important to break down who it is that is the best potential audience. And that's exactly what we're doing through this process of separating out each of the ad sets. So now that so this is a line that I say really fits this idea well, which is instead of running ads that may perform well, like you might be able to, if you throw all of your ad sets together, you might get sales, you might get leads, but it won't teach you for the future ads that you run how to perform at the best rate consistently. What we care about on Facebook ads is not, it's not spending $10 and making 100 once. It's being able to consistently spend $20 and make $100, right? It's being able to scale your business in a consistent way, because if you're able to get one sale once, congratulations. But if you're able to get consistent sales on a daily basis or on a weekly basis, or leads coming in all the time, that won't be a way of really growing your business well. You have to figure out what works well so that you can do that on a normal, ongoing basis. So now that this screenshot actually shows just how I've done this, which is I've created these audiences: page engagement, website visitors, lookalike to people who bought a lot of products. This next one is the lookalike to LTV, which is a new audience that Facebook released, which allows you to take all of your email all of your purchasers. You can go into your Shopify store and you could select your entire list with the amount of money that they spent. So some people spend $100, others spend $5. Normally, before 3 months ago, if you uploaded your email list, Facebook would count all of those 10,000 emails equally. But now that they have this lookalike to LTV, people who've spent a lot of money get more weight in the algorithm. So you're not just going to get the people that bought, but the best people that bought to create a lookalike audience. The next one is Facebook likes, and the last one was video viewers. So what I did was I ran all these audiences with the exact same ads in them. You can see each of them have these 24 ads, we're going to get to later. And what you can see from here is that the post engagement ads were costing 44 cents a lead. This was a sale to get 15% off by signing up to the email list. So that was 44 cents, but the video viewers was 74 cents, which is almost double, a little less than double the cost per lead of the post engagement. So if we would have run post engagement and video viewers together, we would never have learned, it probably would have showed us, 50 cents, 55 cents. We never would have learned that post engagement was a better audience to be able to run additional ads, maybe straight to sale ads, maybe different offers, maybe for a free shipping coupon. If we wouldn't have run these ads to find out which is the best potential audience, we would never have learned to be able to run ads better in the future. So now that we know how to, 1, create a Facebook ad with a clear goal in mind. 2, target our best potential audience. The next thing I want to focus on is how to create ads that will be able to reach our audience for the lowest price. So the first thing you need to understand is how Facebook charges you for impression. Unless you specifically choose to get impressions based on click or video view, your ads by default will cost per impression. Your cost will be however much Facebook believes your ads are worth. For an impression, that's how much they'll charge you. And there's a very complicated algorithm for Facebook to decide that number. It's decided based on the competition of the people you're targeting, the quality of the ad you're running, the quality of the landing page, the quality of your Facebook page, how well your Facebook pixel is matured, if there's a lot of information on your Facebook pixel, all of this data, and also how well the actual ad is doing. If the ad gets a lot of comments and shares, so in the future when you run that same ad, it will get lower cost because Facebook sees that post itself is higher quality. So all of these things go into how Facebook charges you based on impression. So what we need to do is figure out how to get the lowest possible impression cost. That's what we need to do. And the way that we can get that done is by creating a lot of different versions of ads. Because the chances of you creating the best potential ad, so just the way that a Facebook ad looks like, which I have right over here. A Facebook ad has the text above the image. That's called the post text. Then the image itself or the video. And then below that is a headline, which is that big, bold, black text. And the smaller description text, which is the little gray text underneath. So that is what a normal post looks like. The chances of you being able to create one version of your ad and that being the ad that Facebook will say, yes, this is the best performing possible ad you could make. This is the best place to put your keywords in your ad. This is the best image that you're using. The chances of that happening on your first try is incredibly unlikely. So what I like to do is I like to create a lot of different versions of ads so that I can get in front of my people for the lowest price, because Facebook's going to say, this ad that you made, that's the best potential ad that you could have made. So we're going to run that ad for a lower impression cost. So what I actually do is I take each of these lines of text, I keep them short because otherwise this doesn't work. So I keep it under like 220 characters. And then what you could do is you could actually move them around. You could say, instead of putting the post text, the text that, sentence A on top, let me move it to the headline. Let's switch the headline and the post text. Or a second version, let's switch the headline and the description, something very small like that. And what we've actually done is we've created 6 different versions of your ad from just one version of text, sentence ABC. So that ABC will then create 6 versions. So I have that here on this slide, right over here. is 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 ABC, BCA, CBA, CAB, BAC, and ACB. Those are the 6 versions of your text that you've made. And then at the same time, you also don't want to assume that the image you're using or the thumbnail for your video that you're using is the best potential image. So we want to test that also. So what I do is I take those 6 versions of the ad and I test that with 4 different images or 4 different thumbnails or maybe even 4 different videos, depending on how depending on how many versions you've made of that ad. So that's what I do. If you take those 6 images and those 6 versions of the ad and the 4 images, you end up with 24 versions of your ad. But Facebook allows you to do up to 50. So what I sometimes do in normal occasions, I'll actually make 2 versions of my ad. I'll have version ABC, but I'll also have version DEF, another 6 different ads. So I take this DEF ad and I again make that 6 different versions, and I again test those same 4 images. I end up with 48 ads in my ad set. 24 of them are version ABC with the 4 images, and 24 of them are version DEF with those 24 different versions. And by doing that, what you're allowing Facebook to do, important note, this must be created in Power Editor. If you don't set up these ads in Power Editor, Facebook is just going to use the first ad that you make. So if you do this in Ad Manager and you make version ABC and you upload that, and then you continue to create duplicates of it in Ad Manager, Facebook's just going to start running the first one and you're not going to get any data. The way that this has to happen is you need to upload all of these ads at the same time using Power Editor. So once you've done this, you're going to have uploaded all these ads, and Facebook's going to look at all of the ads at the same time, and they're going to say, which of the ads do we think is going to be the best for your audience that you're targeting? And by allowing Facebook the option of running any of the possible 48 versions, you get a lower cost per impression almost every single time. So that's what I've done, is I've created all of these versions. So now at this point, what I've done is I've just walked you through the process of setting up an ad. If you are familiar with Facebook ads, Facebook has 3 steps: the campaign, the ad set, and the ads. What we just talked about in the first one is the campaign is how to optimize for your goal. Number 2 is the ad set, with how to find the best audience. So what we've done is we've created 5 to 10 different ad sets in your campaign, so you're finding the best potential audience. And then the last section is the ads themselves, where you're creating 24 or 48 ads so that you can find the best ad for your audience. So now this whole thing is set up. There's hundreds of ads. I think like 500 plus ads in your ad set, depending on how many ad sets you've made, and they're all running at the same time. But just how do you figure out which of the ads to keep running, which of the ads to turn off or lower in spend? So that's the last thing I want to talk about, which is how to effectively optimize your ads. And this happens in 4 steps. So the 4 steps in optimizing your ad is, again, cost per impression, which we talked about. That indicator is so important simply because that is how Facebook charges you, I would say 80% of the time when you run ads. So if you don't have a low CPM, that is your first sign that Facebook is not happy with your ads. So the 4 steps is CPM, CPC, time on site, and conversion site. And the rest of the time of my speech, I'm going to focus on these 4 things: how to decrease your impression costs to increase your conversion rate. And we're going to basically troubleshoot each of the 4 steps so that we can get the lowest cost per impression and the highest conversion rate. So the first thing we need to think about is the CPM. Your CPM is based on, as I said, a lot of factors, but there's only so many of those factors that you can actually control. You can actually control only 2 of them within your ad campaign: either who you're targeting or the ad they're seeing. That is it. On the CPM level, on your ad campaign level, that's all you can control. You can't really manipulate your Facebook pixel. You can't really, do a huge turnover of the types of likes on your Facebook page. But what you can control right now, today, in your ad campaign is who you're targeting and what ads they're seeing. So if your CPMs are really high, it means it's one of these two things, either the audience you're targeting or the ad that's being run to them. But since we created all of those ad sets, we can actually tell which of these problems it is. If you have 5 ad sets and all of those 5 ad sets have really high ad impression costs, it is almost definitely a problem with the ad itself. Because if you can't get the cost low for any targeting options, then it's not the audience, because you've targeted a lot of different audience options. You targeted based on, geographical location. You've targeted based on interest. You've targeted based on behavior. You've targeted based on, people who actually know who you are, your Facebook likes, your page engagement, your website visitors, all of that information. So by creating all of those ad sets, it's not the audience that's the problem. It's the ad itself. So if you see a high CPM all across the board for your entire ad campaign, it's likely that you just need to make a new version of your ad. But if some of your your CPMs are high and some of them are low, it means that the audiences that are low costing, Facebook believes that your ad is relevant to your audience, while the other audiences, they don't think your ad is relevant to them. So in that situation, you need to find different audiences to target, because the ones that are high are not working. So that's on the CPM level. You either have to fix the audience or you have to fix the ad itself. Now, once we've managed to get our CPMs to a level that we're happy with, we then move on to the CPC cost. Your CPC is not how much Facebook charges you unless you specifically create ads for link clicks with the optimization and bidding on clicks. So that's very important. So because we know that, it means that if you're able to get cheap impressions, the only thing stopping you from a cheap click is if the person actively wants to click the button. So how do we get them to click the button? If your CPC costs are high, you're paying too much for a click, then what you need to do is create more persuasive ads. That could be as simple as changing the call to action button on your ad. You get a lot of options. Shop now, learn more, download, sign up. There's a lot of different versions. So it might just be as simple as changing the text of your call to action button. Or it might be writing in your post text to learn more, click now, right? And giving that call to action in the post itself is actually very likely to get someone to go ahead and click. So if your costs for CPM are low, the only thing left to change is the text on the ad, because it means that Facebook believes it's the right type of ad, it's the right offer, and it's the right audience. So the only thing left to change on the CPC level is how persuasive the ad is. A third thing you could possibly do is adding text, a small amount of text, because Facebook is not happy with this, but you could add a small amount of text on your post, on the image itself, that says like, click below to continue to learn more, something like that. That's the CPC level. Then is the time on site. Your time on site is not shown in Facebook ads. Yes, you could set up in your Facebook Analytics, but it's just simpler if you set it up on Google Analytics. Every website in the world should have Google Analytics set up. There is no reason to not have your Google Analytics set up on your site. So once you have your Google Analytics set up, you can see how much time people are spending on your site. So you've gotten in front of the right audience. You've gotten them with the right message, and you're persuasive enough to move them onto your Facebook page your landing page for a low cost. But if they only spend 10 seconds on your website, it's very unlikely that they're going to convert. So we need to get the time on site to be higher. How do you do that? There's only, again, a few tweaks that you could make that will extend the time of the page. One of them that's really important is the headline across the top of the page. If you're sending people with an ad, telling them, an example, download the free Google AdWords, handbook, and then they get to the website and on top it says free Facebook ads course, they're going to be very confused. So you want to make sure that the text on your ad and the text on the landing page are similar enough that they know, okay, I got here because I clicked on that ad and ended up on this landing page. So that headline, the first thing they're going to read, must be very similar so that they know what they're doing here. And then the next thing you want to do is keep the page really focused on giving them value or the value they're going to receive when they sign up for this thing. And when they recognize that value, it will increase the time that they're spending on your page. So this is really the only thing you could focus on. Make sure that and also, I say the last thing is the images. The image of your ad and the image on the landing page should be similar so that they say, oh, I clicked on this ad, I got to this landing page, and that's why that's why I'm here, and that's why I'm interested, and let me read more on this landing page. So that's how to increase your time on site. So now we've gotten in front of the right people, we've gotten in front of them with the right ad. We've gotten them to move from Facebook onto our landing page, and we're getting them to spend 3-4 minutes watching our video and doing whatever, but a lot of them are not converting. So how do we get them to convert? Again, there's only a handful of things you could do. One, the problem might be, and usually is, your offer. If you're giving someone a 3% coupon on a $10,000 product, it is unlikely that they're interested in that offer. But if you create a compelling offer like a 15% coupon or a 20% coupon, there's a higher likelihood that they're going to convert. So by having better offers, that is one thing that you can tweak. And the second thing that I want to mention as how to improve your conversion rate is the form itself. A lot of businesses will ask a ton of questions. I know if anyone here has gone to HubSpot, HubSpot is like known for just asking every question on earth: name, address, name of firstborn child, social security number, bank account information. All of that. They just ask for everything. And what Unbounce, which is a landing page software, has found out is that the more you ask, the lower the likelihood is that someone will convert on your offer. So you want to ask for the basic information that you need and nothing more. If you need to ship them something, you ask their name, email, phone number, address. That's it. If you don't need their phone number, don't ask. If you don't need their address, just ask for their name and email. If you don't need their email, then if you don't need their name, just ask for their email. As simple as that. Only ask what you need for and nothing more. Because the more you ask for, the less likely it is that they will convert. So that is how we optimize the conversion rate, by testing different offers so that we make sure that it's an offer that people are interested in. And we have a form that only asks them for the bare necessity that we need from them. Because if we start asking them all these questions, they're going to say, why does he need all this information? What are they going to even do with this information? They start getting worried. What do they need to know my date of birth? What are they going to do? I don't know. I don't want to be involved in this. So you just want to make sure you ask only what you need and nothing more. And that is how you increase your conversion rate. So through this presentation, I've gone through how to set up your ads, from creating a campaign that's optimized for the goal you actually want, the business goal you actually want. Then creating ad sets that will actually teach you which of your audiences are the highest quality audiences so you could target them in the future. Lastly, creating ads that actually help Facebook give us lower cost per impression so that we could reach more people with our message, with our ads for a lower price, which is the most important part here, getting in front of the people for the lowest possible price. And once we've created the ads, how to actually optimize them. Look through your cost per impression, figure out how to, target better audiences or create better ads for that audience. Then how to create more persuasive language to get people to take the action on the Facebook page, move them off of Facebook onto your landing page, onto your, on product page, whatever that might be. And then get them to actually spend time on your page by optimizing, make sure it's mobile friendly, make sure that, they know what they're doing on this page, why they got here from Facebook. And lastly, figure out how to offer them something they want, ask only the questions that they're willing to answer, and get them to take action now and convert on your offers. So thank you so much for listening to this. You want to find me, I'm on Facebook crazily, but I actually do spend a lot of time on LinkedIn, which is actually how I was contacted about this presentation. So I'd love to connect with you on LinkedIn. It's not even on here. I'm Azriel Ratz, or Azriel Avery Ratz on LinkedIn. I'd love to connect with you. Just message me that you came through this presentation. And again, if you want this entire deck of, this entire walkthrough, I have that plus a lot more in here at feo.talkaboutads.com. Thank you so much, and I'd love to answer any questions if anyone has any.
Yeah, it's a very nice presentation, Azriel.